Evening all. I've been doing a bit of unplanned work on my 1300 front wheel drive gearbox after a disappointing failure. And while I was doing it, something came up on the Facebook forum about the 1500 versus the 1300 engine gearbox layouts. And the 1500 box that was shown has got a reverse light switch fitted. And if you've ever looked at the 1300 gearbox casing, you'll see, you might have noticed this little threaded hole here, which doesn't have anything in it. And on the other side, on the inside, that's where the reverse bulk plunger goes. So there's this little plunger here, which sits in that hole on a spring, and that is designed to prevent you accidentally going into reverse. Now, in the manual, the workshop manual appears to show this plunger being put in this way round, with the stepped edge outwards. I believe that that's incorrect. That's how mine was originally fitted, and it didn't work. I believe it's meant to go this way round with the chamfered edge outwards, like this. So when you're engaging reverse, it forces it in. So what I thought, well, why don't I try and fit a reverse switch, reverse light switch? Should be easy enough. There was the threads already there. I've got a Spitfire engine in bits and the gearbox on the bench, so I took the reverse light switch from the Spitfire and it fits in the threads, and I thought, well, let's give this a go. So a 3/8 inch drill bit, I drilled out a hole there, so it's 3/8, a little bit slack there, so you could potentially go to a 1/4 inch, but I haven't got a 1/4 inch drill bit, so I couldn't. I think I have, I don't know where it is. Anyway, so that's fine, and then you put this, but the spring is then being, the spring is still held in place. So I thought, oh, I'll try that, put the switch in, press this, nothing happened, didn't work. So I cut down a 1/4 inch bolt. This that's a 7/16 across flats, and it's I think it was a 1 1/4 inch length. Cut that down, chamfered the edge slightly just for the hell of it, and I sit this. Well, that slides straight through. I'll fit the switch and I'll show you how it works. It's not listed in the parts book whether this was ever fitted to the 1300. I would expect it would have been fitted to the later models. Mine's a 1967 and it didn't have it. Anyway, there's the switch fitted. I won't tighten it up just now because this will demonstrate how it works. Let me wire in my multimeter and we'll just check that it is working. So I've got my multimeter set to check resistance, and it's got a beeper on it, so when there's a closed circuit it beeps. So if I attach that to the other terminal, currently the switch is open circuit as you would expect. Turn it over. This is my homemade gasket, by the way. First gasket I've made using proper gasket paper and a proper punch, and I'm very pleased with it. Spring in, my little bolt, I think I'm going to put it that way round, and then the reverse bulk plunger. The question is how long that bolt I've put in there really needs to be, because I'm not quite sure how compressed this is when you clamp the box together, and I won't find that out until I do. So when you engage reverse, this gets pushed in, so it seems to be working. The bolt that I'm using as a plunger inside the spring may be too short, in fact, but I suspect it's probably not, because I suspect this has to start something like at that position, and then when you engage reverse it pushes it that bit further. We will find out when we reassemble, if I ever get around to it. Something else I've just noticed as I went back over to the Spitfire gearbox is there was a little plastic washer that I'd missed when I took the switch off. Now on the Spitfire, this has got a little retaining lug on the casting of the gearbox which holds it in place, because the washer itself is a bit loose on the switch threads, so it can wobble around a bit. And I did notice as well that the casting here is very rough, so there's quite a distinct possibility of leaks from that point. I'm not sure that, I don't think this is going to be the right answer. Maybe it is, but I don't know how I'm going to make sure it sits centrally. I think I'm going to just find a different washer that's the right sort of size. Ideally, probably a little O-ring or something would be ideal, or a fibre washer of the right size, if I can find one. That's all. Thought I'd better add that. Cheers.